looking at the counter-terrorism, well, it sounds like a quagmire in Belgium and some of the reasons given. Right, the time now is 6:49 and thousands of teachers are expected to take part in a rally at Westminster later against the government's plans for academies. In the Chancellor's budget last week, George Osborne announced that all schools would eventually stop being under control of their local council and be taken over as academies. Well, Martin Powell-Davies is the National Union of Teachers London Regional Secretary and joins me on the line now. Good morning to you, Martin.
Good morning.
So how has the Chancellor's new reform ideas gone down? How have they gone down with teachers specifically?
Well, there's been a huge groundswell of opposition, and not just from teachers, from parents, and I think Londoners as a whole. There's been not one but two online anti-academy petitions that reached the 100,000 needed to force a parliamentary debate in just a few days. That just shows what anger there is about this plan.
Okay, maybe we need to actually back up and ascertain what it means for a school to become an academy.
Well, I think people need to realise this is a government in chaos, and they're about to inflict chaos on our schools if they get away with this. It's an experiment in the privatisation of state education, not backed up by evidence, but they want to impose it in any case. And for our children's sake, it has to be stopped.
So why will it be such a bad thing?
Because up to now, only a minority of schools are academies. Certainly most primary schools have been unaffected. And this will now become dozens of different employers with different admissions arrangements, exclusion arrangements, deciding on paying conditions, unaccountable to communities. Local authorities will be dismantled, and they're not even going to allow schools to have a parent governor. It can't be allowed.
So is this the beginning of the end for comprehensive education as we know it, if something like this were to go ahead?
If it goes ahead, but we plan to make sure that it doesn't. As I say, this afternoon we have got a demonstration starting at 5 o'clock outside Westminster Cathedral, not the Abbey, the Cathedral on Victoria Street, marching to the Department for Education. We would appeal for everybody to come and join us and make sure that the government realises that this is another thing that they need to back away from.
In a statement, the Department of Education says that every parent deserves to know their child is getting an excellent education and is disappointed that the NUT and ATL are taking this approach. They, and I quote them, "Pupils are already benefiting hugely from the Academy's programme, and thanks to our reforms, more of them than ever before are going to good or outstanding schools," meaning more parents can access a good school place for their children. The changes we are making will put control back in the hands of teachers and school leaders, those who know their pupils best, making sure every single child has the opportunity to fulfil their potential. I give you the last word, Martin Powell-Davies.
There is absolutely no evidence when education researchers come out against it, when even the Financial Times comes out against this plan. The government needs to realise they can't just put statements out that are not backed up by evidence. This will be a disastrous plan. It has to be stopped.
Martin Powell-Davies, thank you for talking to us this morning. Martin is the National Union of Teachers London Regional Secretary, and we were discussing their rally at Westminster Cathedral. It will begin at Westminster Cathedral on Victoria Street at 5 p.m. today, and that is a rally against the government's plan for academies. It's Nikki Beattie.